Welcome to our Community Development Deliberations and Update. It is November 17th, 2022. The time is 9 a.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. In attendance are Commissioners Brooks and Duncan, and I will ask to dispense with the Pledge of Allegiance. And are there any changes to the agenda? All right.
No.
Hearing none. There are no opening remarks and any conflicts of interest.
No.
Okay. Pat, did you just join us?
Not great.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right. So we're on to our first business item, which is consideration of tax deed with AIN 337622. And will Ben lead us in this discussion, or you want to start, David?
Commissioners, I can start. On the screen to your left, there's an image.
Not hearing at all. I can't hear David.
It's over there. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, my
Yes.
apologies. Thank you. On the screen to my right and Commissioner Duncan's left is an image of this sliver of land that dates back to the 40s. It was presumably transferred over to the HOA in 1943. Ben may know, I don't know how the county actually ended up with this, but our suggestion is it needs to go back to the HOA if they're still extant, or to one of the property owners on either side for reasons you can see on the screen, which are self-evident. And since, Bill, you may not be able to see, this sliver of land works for access to the lake, presumably, again dating back to 1943. So our suggestion is you give this to one of the two neighbors or back to the HOA.
Okay. Bill, any questions?
So what would happen would be community development would contact the homeowners or the HOA and make that offer.
I would probably ask that Nancy Pluff do it because she's been working on these for quite a while.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine.
All right, you have your direction.
Thank you.
All right, item 2, a request by Aspen Homes to waive the seasonal prohibition of construction in the Falls at Hayden Lake subdivision. The original order of decision for the Falls at Hayden Lake subdivision prohibits site disturbances from October 15th through May 1st, except as may be approved by the director. David?
Commissioners, this request stems from changed conditions in this subdivision which date back to 2009. In this particular case, the builder, as Aspen Homes, would like to do work in what is otherwise a prohibited time frame from October through May. That was a condition of approval set by the 2009 subdivision approval. It does give the director the ability to authorize work in this window, if in this case, if I think it's appropriate. I think it's reasonable in this case for a couple of reasons. We let this go through last year and the year before with the express understanding that we had an inspector on site before they started work, so we knew they had BMPs in place. And then we checked afterwards to see that the BMPs were still in place. And that seems like the same sort of thing that could work this year. The other thing that's useful to know, I'll pull up for you, Commissioner Duncan. This subdivision, since it's been in place for over a decade, has a lot of good vegetation in place. The swales are in place. All of the vacant lots are in areas where there'll be swales that can catch the runoff before it ends up in the lake. So it seems like the original concern about lake protection at this late stage in the development of this subdivision is not so much of an issue anymore. And I'm fine with letting them go forward with these express conditions if you are as a board.
Questions, Bill?
No, it sounds entirely reasonable to me. I was going to ask what David's recommendations were and then for the most part follow them. And from what he said, I agree completely.
All right. And it's listed as an action item, but do you need action? or direction?
Really, direction would be fine.
Okay, then it sounds like you have to go ahead and put those sideboards in place
Thank
to
you.
allow that to happen. All right, moving on to our deliberations. Item 1 is MSF 22-0003, and this is Dolan's Deal Second Edition Final. Vlad?
He's plugging in.
Okay.
It takes just a minute. There you go.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Vlad Finkel with Kootenai County Community Development. This is a request for a final plat of a major subdivision that was approved by the board in February of this year. This is a request that's located at the intersection on the southeast corner of the intersection of Highway 41 and Highway 54. The subject property is located within the restricted residential zone. However, it is over the aquifer, therefore the minimum requirements for lot size are 5 acres or greater. The property is fairly well vegetated, and it does have it's relatively flat, but it does have a few spots that are greater than 15% grade. The original request consisted of 5 lots on 26.29 acres with access directly off of Highway 41 and individual wells and individual septic systems. The only change that we noticed from the original approval, and this was something that was requested by the applicant early on after the initial approval, is that they wanted to change the dedication of the interior road from being private and maintained by the HOA to being publicly maintained by Lakes Highway District. We felt that that was a minor change as long as Lakes Highway District was amenable to that rededication to the public, which there didn't seem to be a problem with doing so. And we as a department felt that that was okay as well. It has since been noted on the face of plat that it will be dedicated to the public, and of course it will be improved to the Associated Highway District standards. I recently conducted a site inspection, and as you can see, the area has been significantly disturbed for the construction of the interior road. The Commissioner Brooks, you can't see, but what Chairman Duncan is looking at is the approach of the newly proposed interior road adjacent to Highway 41. It looks like a majority of grading and stormwater components of this road system has been constructed. I believe that there are some improvements still remaining in addition to paving. The applicant did submit a road development agreement with Lakes Highway District and the necessary 150% completion bond, which the Highway District has approved, and they don't see any issue with the applicant moving forward to final plat. The remaining agencies with jurisdictions such as ITD, they have issued the approach permit as well as approved the abandonment of an existing one that was located in a different location. Health Department is ready to sign on the plat. The Fire Department, in addition, has no concerns because the improvements to the road will exceed the fire code requirements for a private road. We don't have any concerns. We are requesting that the board approve this so that we can draft an order and have the applicant prepare the milers for recordation. I stand for any questions that you have.
Bill, any questions?
I have no questions.
All right, would you like me to make the motion, or do you have the agenda?
Yes, I have the agenda, but if you want, you go ahead and make it.
Okay, I move that we approve the final edition for MSF 22-003, Dolan's second deal, I guess, final approval? I think I said that, so, final edition's what I said.
I second the motion.
Okay.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chairman Philius.
No, he's,
Duncan.
aye. All right, motion carries, and that's fine, and that's all there is, so 9:09, meeting adjourned. Thanks,
Thank you.
Bill.
Leslie, I'll call in I'll call in right at 11.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.